Hey there, welcome to my channel. My name is MaryAnngeline and welcome to practice. Before we get started, be sure to like and subscribe. And of course, turn on the notification bell so you can get notified when I release a new video. You don't want to miss out. Click above to be added to the Kinesi community newsletter for more creative Vinyasa flow yoga classes, workshops, teacher trainings, and retreats. Now roll out your mat and let's get flowing. Practice today for the hips, the legs, the ankles, the feet, pretty much the lower body, but staying on the ground the whole time and working more of like mobility, range of motion kind of exercises rather than a quote-unquote yoga practice. Because all in all, our yoga practice comes from movement, and if we don't move, then we get too tight. So a little more just finding some space and movement, not necessarily a specific style of practice. So here we go. Let's start at the backs of our mats. We will start on our shins. Of course, at any moment, if you need to add props, do. I'm still traveling in Greece, so I don't have my props with me, so I won't be integrate them to demonstrate for you, but always play around with props if you feel that they're necessary, or if you just want to try it out and see. Even if you don't necessarily need them, we can always use them and they can always be very helpful. Okay, so already on our shins here, we feel this stretch through our tops of the feet, ankles. Some might feel it more than others, but just being seated in this position is going to stretch out those areas of the body. And what we want to notice is, as you sit here, what are your heels doing? Are they starting to open out to the side and your big toes together, or are you actively hugging those heels in? So just notice, naturally when you start to drop into the seat, your heels will most likely open out wide because we are relaxed. But now let's turn on that engagement through the inner thigh and through the inner part of your heels. So squeeze inner thighs together and then start to squeeze those heels towards each other, and you'll notice there's more weight now into the shins, there's more weight now into the tops of the feet. So you should be getting a more dynamic stretch as we pause here. Of course, we still integrate some core supports, so draw the belly in and up, and then just breathe, and we'll be here active for a few moments. So keep those muscles turned on, keep the legs moving into what we call our midline, so the center line of our body. Everything comes into that center. Take one more deep breath in, one more deep breath out. Now reach your arms forward, keep that engagement through your legs. As you draw your arms back, lift your hips up. So press the palms back and the hip bones forward. And yes, I am turned on in my glutes here. Let's repeat that. Pelvis down, draw the belly in, squeeze the legs. As you reach the arms forward, take a seat. Press it up, hip bones forward, arms reach back. Super active. Sending the tail down, moving very slowly, active through my legs. They should be on fire right now. Pressing the hip bones forward, sending the arms back. 2 more times. Lower, very gently, keep those legs parallel. And press it up, pull the arms back. Once more. Again, super duper active right now. I already feel a shake through my legs. Hopefully you do too. And lower it down. Plant the hands on the ground. Just take a moment to shake those legs out. Definitely felt it through my quadriceps, through my calves, inner thighs. Then come back to tabletop. You can walk to the center of your mat if you'd like. Tuck those toes under, hips back and forward a few times. So just kind of countering out that work that we just did. And then point the toes, drop back into your seat. Alrighty. So notice now what you naturally did. Did you try to bring those ankles to neutral, more engaged, or were you kind of just dropping in? So it's just an observation. All right. Moving on. Hands to the ground. Tuck the toes under. You can come on to fingertips or palms for this next one, still with the idea and the energy moving towards the midline. So as you float the knees off the ground, squeeze those inner thighs, start to rock your weight back towards your heels. Some of you may have to pause before the heels touch down. That's okay. Go to right before your max point. Some of you may be able to touch the heels all the way down, which is great too. Wherever you are, keep everything hugged in towards each other, so hamstrings towards calves, and then inner thighs, so in. So they're squeezing in, contracting, and then towards center. We're going to move in and out of that 4 more times. Fingertips down if you need them. Very slow, you want to feel that stretch through the Achilles. Everything hugs in, touch the knees down. Point the toes, take a seat, keep it active. Let's repeat. Fingertips down, toes tuck under. Heels right above those toes. Drop the weight down into the heels, float the knees up. Very slowly with a lot of control, you'll feel that stretch. Heels go to their max touchdown or hover. Fingertips to the ground. Slowly lower the knees. Let the toes uncurl, point them, take a seat. Back to neutral. Hands down, toes tuck under. Float the knees up very slowly. Go to your edge. Tap down. Everything is still very much engaged. Shift it forward. Feel that stretch. Lower the knees down. Let the toes kind of uncurl without lifting the feet up too much. You feel a stretch to the toes, and then back to where we started. 2 more times. Of course, all in all, we are focusing on using breath as our foundation for this movement so that we may move a little more freely, with a little more ease. I think my favorite part there is letting the toes uncurl by themselves. Feels super nice, nice stretch. Last time, my friends. Take it nice and slow. And if you're not necessarily exactly with me, that is okay. The next time you're at your end, so where the toes are pointed and you're seated, just hold there. Bring your hands on your legs for a moment. Sit up nice and tall. Breathe fully, breathe deeply. Now bring your hands back down to the ground. We're going to tuck those toes under. This time though, we'll float the knees up, walk your hands back. So rather than letting the heels touch down, keep the heels lifted. Squeeze the inner thighs. Bring your hands to your quads. Float your chest back. Sit up nice and tall. Toe stand. Very much active, that contraction in towards each other, and then in towards midline. Reach your hands back. Slowly, slowly start to lower your knees down to the ground. Whew. Reach your arms up. Press your hips forward. Bring your hands down by your sides. Hug the inner thighs towards each other. Point the toes. Press down through your shins. Take a seat back down. Now this time, you're more than welcome to use your hands again. Otherwise, we're going to try to move with that sequence without the use of our hands, or maybe we'll use them here and there. But we'll start by shifting our weight forward into our knees. So coming up to a kneeling position. Tuck the toes under. Anchor through your feet. Lean back, booty towards the heels. Lean your torso back. Draw your belly in. Float those knees off the ground. It may take a couple times, that's okay. Once you do, pull the pelvis back so you're neutral, then lean your chest back again so you're stacked. Now here's the tricky part, getting those knees down to the ground. Very slowly, pitch those knees forward, lean back a little bit. Eventually you won't have to lean back as much. Lower the knees gently down. Move the hips forward or reach the arms up. Point the toes, arms by your sides, take a seat. Pause. We're going to do that one more time. Hips up. Toes tuck. Whoa. Booty down. Lean back, float legs up. Maybe hands to heart as you come into your toe stand. Watch what your ankles are doing. Slowly lower the knees down, lean back a little bit. Try to land both together. If it does one at a time, it's okay too, but be very mindful. You'll definitely feel this in the front of those ankles. Then booty up, arms up, toes point, and booty down. Beautiful, friends. Plant your hands down, shake those legs out. You might want to give a little circles to those ankles. A lot more ankle work today. Let's step the right foot to the outside of the right hand. I'm just going to take a little stretch that hip flexor through outer right hip. And if you'd like, you can turn those toes out. There's a lot of parallel, neutral. So this should feel pretty good. Send the right leg back, switch sides, left foot forward. Just take a moment. Breathe into the stretch. And bring it back. We're going to come to seated. Moment in our butterfly. Feet together, knees wide. Bring your heels though together, and with the strength of those feet, pull the toes back so they're away from each other. Then start to spread your toes, lift your heels off the ground. You can use your hands on the ground for support, but you're trying to get your feet down, your toes down as you get those heels up. Breathe, hold it for 3, 2, keep those heels pressed up, and 1. Release it out, straighten out your right leg, take a little side stretch. Bring it back to neutral, other side. Take a little stretch. I have this one little bee that just keeps buzzing around me. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's a little friend this morning. And back to center. Straighten out those legs now. Just give them a shake out. Maybe a little point and flex. And then a squeeze in. Give yourself a hug. Thank yourself for being on your mat, for these little short exercises that will definitely help you in your daily life, in your daily movement. Isolating movement a lot of times will help us excel in other aspects, in our yoga practice, in our dance practice, in any type of practice that you do. But not only do they excel us in those practices, but they help us day to day. So like walking up the stairs, bending down to get something, coming from the ground up, right? If you're on the ground, can you come to standing without your hands? All those kinds of things that we don't necessarily think about often, but are in our daily life. If we do exercises like these, focusing on those ankles, those knees, those hips, then that will help us all in all as we get older. And wherever you are in your life at this moment, these exercises will definitely help, regardless if you're young or older or, you know, have injuries or don't have injuries or all of the above. So thank you for joining me. I'll see you all next time. Thank you so much for flowing with me today. Put any future requests and comments below, as I would love to know how much you enjoyed this class, this practice. If you're interested in longer form, ad-free videos, be sure to click here to access 3 long form videos for free, just for my YouTube subscribers. Otherwise, if you want more flow with me on YouTube, click right here. Thanks again, and I'll see you all next time.